Rolling?
Yeah.
We good? Thing to hear, and this, so those of you who don't know, FreePani is like have been our partner in most of our events. And we met Bakar, I feel, last year, right, through game night. And I think, especially in Pakistan, because I don't know about US, Josh, but like in Pakistan, you can't afford to drink tap water. That shit will kill you or can make you really sick, right? So here the need is kind of like, I feel water is a necessity, but at the same time, it's unfortunately a luxury. Clean water, that is, because you can't have tap water. And people from a certain social income bracket, they don't have a choice. And so my question also on this is that I'm guessing, this also kind of helps that too, right? That is, I'm guessing, one of the idea of accessibility to clean water, right? And then my other question on that is that, so I'm not going to take any names, but there are bigger companies we hear all the time who kind of hijack water resources in developing nations. Right, and then
Am I allowed to mention the name?
you can mention whoever.
All of them.
Yeah. And but how does one? But my question on this is, how does one put a stop to this? Because I'm guessing when you guys must also have a vendor for your water, right? And they probably take it from somewhere as well. So yeah, just like talk to me a little bit about how is that different, or how is is it an alternative?
So it was more than one question, so let me address it one at a time. And also, you're kind of getting close to what most people ask for the next question, so maybe we could answer them all at the same time. Yeah, so the goal is to give everybody access not just to water, but food, medicine, all sorts of essential goods, transportation, internet, you name it, right? Pretty much everything but a Rolex watch. That you'll never, I apologize, you're never going to get a Rolex watch for free. So, look, we're distributing free water in America, and 95% of the bottles we distributed, advertisers are trying to reach out to middle class for the most part. Now, 5% has actually been targeting the homeless. Because some people are like, well, hey, Nike doesn't want to advertise to the homeless person, and how could this reach everybody? Well, what I found is churches, mosques, nonprofits, governments, they want to reach out to the homeless. Like, hey, here's the homeless shelter, here's job training. If you're addicted to drugs, here's the help that you need. You can't reach that person with a Facebook ad. They might not even have a phone, and definitely not Facebook. So what I've really liked to see so far is that these churches, mosques, nonprofits of all sorts, and government organizations have used it to basically put the important information in their hands. Number two, even when you're distributing the free water, let's say there's an ad for Netflix or NBC or whatever on NASCAR, and it goes to someone who's upper middle class, respectfully, I don't care about that. I care that it donated to the people in the world who really need the help. Some of the water projects we did in like Kenya, for example, a family of 5 to 10, the salary for both parents is just $10 a month, total $10. So I know in Pakistan people make less money than in the US, but I haven't heard anybody here say I make $10 a month, and that's for all the food, that's for everything, right? And so when you bill, and those people that are living off $10 a month, sometimes they're walking 3 kilometers to get water from the sewer, like pure polluted, way worse than the tap water here, right? And then you bring it home, and me being an American who grew up differently than that, I'm like, well, that's horrible, but I make the assumption that they boil the water. No, if you make that little money, you can't even afford firewood. So like, all they're eating is a little bit of dried corn, no salt, no nothing, no sugar. They'll smash it into like a little bread, and you can only afford to cook the bread maybe 1 day a month, 2 days a month. That's it, And so And if that's your life, you don't have time to go to school either. So like one of the projects, you build the water well at the school. Then the parents are like, hey, get your ass to school and bring back 20 liters of water on the way home. And that creates exponential growth in these communities. And so like, while, yeah, people are like, hey, free water, give me one. How is it free? Like, it's great, but it's really designed to help those other people. Again, like, Bucker's donating 5 rupees to charity every bottle. Let's say one day he gets 10% of Pakistan drinking a free Pani every day. That's how much money donated a year. And so you could build thousands of wells annually.
And until now, have you seen, like, what kind of progress have you seen?
A lot of progress. I mean, because I started at 0, right? And so
And wells have been made.
in Africa and Kenya, also in India, and now together with Bucker here in Pakistan.
Yeah.
And so, but in the early days, everyone was like, you're insane. This isn't possible. You can't make things like electricity, transportation, pizza. It's just impossible.
Yeah.
Then I prove it with water. And I'm like, okay, you prove it with water, but you can't do this with bread, you can't do this with food, you can't do this. And then other people will say, well, you prove it in the United States, but you can't do it in a country like Muslim. And now, like, Bucker's crushing it, and proving it in Pakistan, people do it in South Africa, and in other places. And so it's great to see that the model can be thing.
On the face of it, the model makes sense, right? Because advertisers do need to
I
advertise.
mean, it makes sense to you, but as you know, a lot of the times in the video, they're like, why is it free? It's not possible. I don't believe it. Blah, 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 blah.
But I think that's also because how we've been, socially conditioned of always knowing, oh, clean water has to be mineral water.
I mean, look,
and
you're
you buy
driving
it.
around and there's billboards.
Yeah.
This is just a billboard in your hands.
Exactly.
Talking about competitors competing in charity.
The goal is to get the world to compete at charity. That's
Compete at
always
charity,
been the
yeah.
goal.
Fair.
Because no government wants to fix these problems. And so I thought, okay, it has to be done privately, but it has to be done in almost a reverse psychology way. Because if you ask Coca-Cola to donate billions of dollars, they're going to say no. But if they're forced to do it in competition, they'll volunteer it. So I know it's a lofty goal, but that's been the idea behind it the whole time.
Slowly but surely. I also want to know, so I see most of you buy these bottles are from retail shops, right? So going to grocery shops or whatever, even small shops, even Coca there, right?
Yeah, of course.
Is this part of the plan to have these bottles there as well? Because I feel like, how can I even get free Pani? Because it can't be a pop-up everywhere or something like that.
Yeah, so long-term goal is it's so flexible you could get it anywhere.
Yeah.
But speaking on America, because that's where I live, we're really lazy. And what I mean by that is now you just hit a button and Amazon or Walmart delivers to your house in 30 minutes. Sometimes Costco too.
Got it.
And so a lot of Americans used to drive to the store. Now they don't even want to do that. They used to drive to McDonald's. Now they'll just use third-party delivery app to deliver it, right?
Yeah.
And so keeping that in mind, the real vision is that all of the free products come to your house, shipping for free. And so the catch is when you open that bag of groceries, it's covered in the advertisements for the things that you want. Now, and it donates to charity. If you don't like this, you could always go shop the traditional way. But it's my belief in order to make this scale in America, you have to work. Every culture is different, every society is different.
True.
And so in my country, that's where it will go.
Got it.
Free
More of
products, free delivery, donates to charity. The ads just for you.
Yeah.
With a retail shop, while it would be great to distribute from these retail shops, it would be very difficult to make the ad just for you. Because if you walk into Walmart or wherever, like, they don't know when you're walking into Walmart. So they say, okay, take a box of the free water or free food or anything. How could you make that ad just for you? It's almost impossible. Unless you had an appointment to go to the market, then it's possible. But at that point, it's easier just to send it to your house. And then there's new ways of building factories and there's new ways of doing these deliveries in the future. It's only possible if the product is free or negatively priced. If it costs just 1 penny, it's not possible in the future.
Yeah.
And so that's the beauty with these models is nobody developed these models before. And so
And apart from what I'm getting from you is that you are concerned about, or you do want the ad to be very specific to the consumer as well.
of course, that's advertising.
Yeah.
Right? If I give you an ad for women's shoes, I'm gonna guess that you don't want that.
True. But my question with this is, so for example, right now, currently, like even
Yes.
if you're making, these, you're going to events, putting FreePani and stuff. You don't necessarily know everyone, right? You have a general idea, and is that something that's taken into consideration? That what kind of ads we're gonna do this? But it is a general perspective rather than a solo
Right now it's a general, but if you do it right, it can still be hyper targeted.
Okay.
For example, like let's say you're distributing the ads at a car show and it's got cars from all different brands. I mean, obviously these people that are going to the car show, they care about cars, they care about accessories for cars. So like, you can make the ad for that. Could you ever make the ad, I know the exact car you want, I know the exact color you want, I know, not today, but in the future, yes. And that's where we're taking it.
Got it. And Bakar, what about Pakistan? So in Pakistan, you still have very much people, stopping at a shop or whatever and getting a water bottle, or like Coca culture, right? Like, yeah, Coke is it. Let's get a bottle. Is that in the plan here, or are you guys here? It's also ultimately the same what Josh said.
Yeah, so over here as well, it's more like we're gonna open our own online store for free stuff.
Okay, so it is online.
It's the same, like we're actually gonna be working on his model over here in Pakistan. So the thing is that the model he's working on is gonna be helping the world so much that whoever we've met in our trip in Pakistan, and he's told his idea to, like, we met this 65-year-old engineer from Oklahoma living in Pakistan. He's like, brother, you found a gem of a person, but I'm telling you, he's gonna get in trouble.
We like Josh. We don't want Josh to be in trouble.
Not from Pakistan. He's like, he's gonna get in trouble in his own country because he's doing something so amazing for the world.
Yeah.
It's people are not gonna let that happen. The future that he sees is gonna change the world, man.
Yes, I guess it.
It's not a water bottle, it's not a bag of potatoes.
Yeah.
It's advertising and software. Right?
Mhm.
And so here you don't have Uber, but you have apps just like Uber.
Yeah.
Right? When they made Uber or Facebook in the United States, then they went to the next country. The software is made, you just change the language.
Yeah.
So once we build the ultimate level of software, then you just change it to the local language.
Yeah.
And now it gets scaled to any country in the world.
Because like I do feel, listening to Josh's vision, I honestly think, like, I know we're a little behind from that right now in these big corporates understanding that, but if they can, this is good for them too.
Yes.
They're going to want to license these software. because They can't do it without us because they've never envisioned that world.
That world for
You
sure.
know.
It's a
It's
different
new type
way.
of economy. Zabhi.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. I think-
Very fair.
What's the term that you've given this economy?
I call it the giving economy, which means negatively priced but profitable outcome.
It's like basic capitalism, right? Like
No, well, look, it's marketing,
it's marketing, yeah.
but on the economic side, we're going to be publishing a lot of economic books, and no, it's a completely different system. Because capitalism, for one person to get very rich, you need a lot of people to be very poor.
Yeah, I'm saying the current system.
Yeah, the current
system is very.
But this is not that. This
That's
is
what you guys wanna
this-
break.
No, this is win-win.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Your
Yeah.
system wants to change that.
And yes, and so
Yeah.
and it's possible. Maybe we could talk about it on a different show, but it's possible to do this without advertising, and you still make money.
Talk to me a little bit about that.
There's many ways. When I first invented these products, my first one I was working on was electricity and transportation, and with the electricity model, there was no ads.
Yeah.
Um,
Free energy.
Before my mom died, she made me switch to food because she said, "You're not rich, you're not famous. The world will never allow you to do free energy or free transportation right now.
Yeah, it's just like everyone wants to see ad. I think there's just a better way to consume ads.
Agreed.
Right?
So this is one of the FreePani bottles with vodka.
Yeah.
And so we also are using the metal bottles in the United States. But it's a mini billboard. You take it with you, you
Yeah.
refill it.
And I'm also I realized this, I was more interested in reading the ads on this because I was like, oh yeah, who sponsored this one?
Yeah.
Right? So I'm just more curious in knowing about the brand itself. Oh.
Usually advertisements annoy you. Like it's an inconvenience. Not
Yeah,
many
yeah,
people
yeah.
say I want
I
an
want to be able to-
advertisement.
yeah.
It's like you're watching something on YouTube, pop-up ad. You know, it's TV commercial.
Yep,
This is
yep.
annoying. But when you get something for free, it makes you happy.
It makes me
you
happy
thankful.
and also makes me curious. I'm like, oh, okay, who sponsored this?
And from that level of happiness is when you should see that ad for Nike. Not like I'm watching the basketball game or maybe for your cricket match and then like all intense in the game and then it's like a commercial. And you're like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want...
Yeah, and the final ball is like a commercial here.
exactly. Like the last...
Like an India-Pakistan match happening and then there's a commercial. You're like, dude,
Like, nobody wants that.
nobody wants that.
But those are the most expensive commercials.
Those are the most expensive
Meanwhile,
commercials. Yeah, this is
for the
true.
price that they paid for that commercial, they could probably give away 1 million bottles of FreePani that would donate how many rupees?
5 million.
5 million rupees. How many water projects would that make in Pakistan?
Yeah.
Would you rather have the ad in the last like 1 minute of the match, or would you rather get a bunch of free stuff and then you're just like, hey, obviously you hope there's a good deal here.
Yeah, yeah.
If they don't put a good deal, I don't like ads. I don't care how it is. Like an ad's not a good ad if there's not a special offer. But they give you the ad, they give you a special offer, and then it says on the can, hey, we also save 15,000 lives in Pakistan because we chose to advertise with something like this instead of the last 30 seconds of the fucking cricket match.
Yeah, you build an affinity with the product.
Yeah,
Sure.
and so it's a different model, right? We're trying to transform the advertising industry into something positive.
No, man, that's, and I think that is smart because advertisers are going to be there. We always need to find a practical solution to this. And I think it's a great way where you're helping advertisers. You're not trying to be, something, it's not coming off as like anti-advertiser or something like that. It's actually helping them. It's a model that works and you're getting free water out of it. It's like a win-win.
And it's very flexible. What I mean by that is, let's say if an advertiser, they love doing Facebook ads, right? Or they
Yeah.
love doing Google ads. Well, you could tie that into this ad medium. Meaning, like, you walk into a store, let's say it's a clothing store, and everybody who walks into the store, they get a free Pani,
Yeah.
right? Free water. And then you're looking and you're like, wow, this is a really great deal on the bottle, but I'm in a hurry, I have to go get lunch or something. So you go, you scan the ad, you're looking at the ad. Well, if they want, when you scan the ad, they know who you are. They can now send you the Facebook ad, the Google, like you could tie it with any level of technology that you want. And it's very flexible in that way. Like when you advertise with Google, Facebook, it's not very flexible. You have to do in the manner
You
that they-
want to be targeted in Google and Facebook. And
Yeah,
it's,
One example is in the future, we'll charge a percentage for everything purchased off the can. Right? So let's say you buy a MacBook Pro off the can, you spend $2,000 on that. We're going to charge 5%. That's on top of the advertising prices.
yeah.
So 5% of a $2,000 computer, you can't make that money ever off of a can of Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
What if somebody bought a Volkswagen car off the can? Right? Like all of a sudden you have the ability, you can earn $1,000 off of a free bag of chips. And the big companies, they're gonna be like, okay, I like
They're up
money.
to something.
We have to
yeah,
copy.
we have to copy.
But I just like hope and wish and pray that they copy the donation to charity.
No, I like the vision. I like that how for you it's not bringing these companies down, but rather make them follow this model which helps people.
I wish that they were doing good things tomorrow. I would just
Yeah.
I would just go do something else.
Because you know what happens, at least in developing nations. So even if you talk about Nestle or whichever, they are able to lobby very easily with governments, right?
It's in my country. Every country.
Yeah.
They in my country they're spending something like 1 penny per million gallons something. So like 4 million liters, 1 penny.
Okay.
And then they turn around and sell it for $1 a bottle for a half liter.
And they
So
will
they're-
do it because like they've lobbied and stuff.
Yeah, they pay the government official to turn around, and I don't see anything. And so in every country, they're getting the water for almost zero and selling it for as much as they can. If you spend the average price for a bottle of water in America is $1. If you spend $1 on a bottle of Nestle, you paid 2,000 times the price Nestle bought it for. So that would be the equivalent of paying $5,000 for a slice of pizza, or $2 million for an iPhone. No one would ever pay $5,000 for a slice of pizza, but you're paying that same markup in America if you spend $1 on a water.
Minutes later.
I don't want to be doing this. Like, I think this is the job of the government. This isn't my job.
No, but we all are glad that you are doing it. You need some people to do this for sure, because governments don't give a shit. Like everywhere, I think
Yeah,
governments simply do not give a shit.
But that's the problem.
Hamza bhai, but the thing is that once for us doing it, it's very easy because he's done it
Yeah.
in the West. But for him, I believe after knowing him a bit more personally after this trip, doing it for the first person to do it, it's like it's really tough. It's not that easy. It's completely impossible for him to pull this off in the US.
Yeah.
It's really amazing. It's really motivational and inspiring.
No, man, for real. Josh and Baka has a question to both of you. So you guys are here, you're meeting up. What's next for free water, free Pani in Pakistan? I know you touched upon other broad and free energy and everything else, but I'm guessing that's a little later on.
So patents.
Patents.
So I didn't patent early concepts.
Okay.
I don't even consider this version 1.0. I consider this version 0.5.
Got it.
And I haven't publicly discussed with the world the real vision. And behind the real vision is a lot of new technologies. Now, I wish I didn't need to patent. But the world's biggest companies have already proven they'll take my early concepts and they won't do anything positive with it. They'll put the ads on the can and charge more for it instead of less for it, and give nothing to charity. And that pisses me off. And so to compete with them at the game they want to play, we get the patents for these new softwares and technologies. And ideally, I would like to build these technologies here, because I can build these technologies here for a fraction of the price of the United States.
Yeah.
And these technologies will be able to be used anywhere around the world. Because everything in America costs more. A factory worker with the least amount of skills, because you have to pay health, like $30 an hour. Now imagine, I need the best engineers in the world. The level of engineers I need are going to be one person, $500,000 a year in the United States. You know, I can pay somebody, that same quality engineer here, maybe $25,000 a year. Maybe even the best of the best, 50. And I can build technologies here that would be impossible for me to build in the United States without 10, 20, 30 million dollars. And then that software can be used anywhere.
But that software essentially do like hyper advertisement, like targeted advertisement for different consumers?
In the future, you're going to walk up to that free vending machine, and when the free water comes out, it's going to be individualized just for you. Not just the physical print, augmented reality and more,
Got it.
right? No one in the world has created anything close to that, ever. And also, it's a free vending machine, so people are like, I'm going to steal all the chocolate bars. No, it's encrypted. It's, obviously if you physically hurt your machine,
for sure.
but that's any store.
Yeah.
And so
But you need some level of data from that person who's coming.
there'll
and
be a
taking
mobile
that.
app user, right? Like
Yeah,
at that
sure.
level, but also at the same time, like, have you ever played video games where they're free and you could pay for skins? And
Yeah.
in the future, I believe if you want to pay for the water, you should be able to design it however you want. Like today, when you pay for a bottle of, it says this,
Yeah,
You should put your face here. You should put your family
you
there.
can customize it.
Yeah, like if you're paying for it, you own it, in my opinion. Right? And that's a great deal of
That's a great deal.
sophistication.
Yeah, probably increase your cost, but that's where I guess the patent technology comes in.
Yeah, but if they want to pay for it, they're paying for it. If not,
Oh, so they can pay for it if they want.
yeah, but if you pay for it in the future, it's like skins in a video game. You should, but if you're
Got
getting it for
it.
free,
Yeah. Then it's
Then-
got it.
then it might be Nike or it might be, and that's the catch.
Interesting.
But there's no level of any customization or sophistication in today's market. Every can of Pepsi says Pepsi.
Yeah, it's boring, simple, yeah, mass produced.
And yes, so these softwares will be designed and then implemented in new types of factories and delivery trucks around the world.
That's the future.
If you don't have this software, you can't build that future. And so it's not a water company, it's a software company. Google's not a search company, it's a software company. Facebook's not social, it's software. So we're building new types of softwares and just using them in a way to help people instead of them over, which is what people do now, unfortunately. Sorry for saying bad words.
No, say whatever. Everything is allowed in this.
Okay. In the car.
In the car. Everything is allowed in the car.
Okay.
Whatever happens in the car stays in the car and on social media.
Yeah. Stays in the car and goes.
And goes everywhere. but you know what happens in Old Lahore is there's a lot of famous like food places which have been there since some or even before partition. But the problem is if they're good, suddenly people start copying them. So there's a place called Butt Cry, but there are 4 Butt Cries there. And everyone says we are the real one.
Hey, it's okay, and copying is also, it should flatter you.
To flatter you. But now the problem is nobody knows which is real. If you go there.
As long as it's all good, it's
As
great.
long as it's all. Rana, are they all good?
Almost.
Nahi?
I would say the one in Mazang.
Mazang is
Faris
the.
Nihari, Mohammadi Nihari, Khan
Yeah,
Baba,
there you go.
Keema Wala
See, here you go, man.
I had a lot of information for sure
Yeah.
on food.
Now we're planning to go to Khan Baba.
Khan Baba.
Khan Baba for sure. Khan Baba is good. Amritsari Harissa.
Harissa,
Maybe it's gone a little warm maybe now, but Amritsari Harissa is really good.
Yes. The best part about
Not super hygienic. None of these places
Yeah.
are not super hygienic, but they're good.
Everything's been good so far.
So that's great.
the best part about him is that sometimes I also host other travelers.
Yeah.
Always, some are vegan, some are vegetarian. They're like not into some kind of meat, but he eats everything, brother.
But you know what it is? Like, I was discussing with somebody, like India and Pakistan, and even Pakistan, like, our vegan food is dope though. Like, it's really good.
Yeah.
Beans and lobia and all
Mustard
mashi dal and all that. Yeah, like, I feel it's pretty, and like, I know there's a reputation that Pakistanis are very meat eaters and we are, but we're very big vegan eaters too. Like, we would eat lobia, mashi dal, saag, and
I
all
was
that.
scared. Honestly, the only thing I was scared of was the food would be way too spicy for me. Just
You
because.
haven't had the
Yeah.
spicy.
No, and I'm thankful for it. No, my only issue with spicy food is if it's too spicy, I get the hiccups for like 30 minutes.
Then you have FreePani.
It's just annoying. Yeah, but then it won't go away.
Yeah.
And so far, no hiccups. There has been some spicy food, but I've survived so far, and everything's been great. And the hospitality's been great.
Nice to have you here.
Great guest, brother.
Thank you so much, Josh.
No, thanks for having me.
And thank you, Bakar.
Appreciate it. Man.
And everybody in Pakistan, thanks. Everyone's been so nice to me. I feel very blessed.
We're very good for hospitality. Haven't you seen the American woman who's been here in Karachi? How good we've been. And you're doing something good. Like, he wasn't even.
Well, I'm lucky when I called Bucker. He said, "Yeah, come over." I knocked on the door. He answered.
There you go. He did not run away. He did not run away.
And nobody answered.
Fair enough. But George, have you had has Bakar taken you for some good desi food as yet?
We've eaten all sorts of them.
All sorts of?
Yeah.
Taken him to Old Lahore and stuff?
We've been in the north by now. He's just been 6 days. We're going to Old Lahore tomorrow.
Oh,
He
okay.
loves visiting bazaars.
Yeah.
Like, if you really want to learn about a country, you have to see what they're selling in the shops.
Yeah, for sure.
That's how you learn a place. If you
Definitely.
see the food, the clothing,
Yeah.
so that's always interesting for me to see.
The local food getting, not don't go to like the slightly touristy places, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, no, of
I think
course.
that's what's more fun for sure.
Yeah.
No, man, this has been great.
Would you recommend any good food place?
Yeah, and I'm guessing Josh has traveled, so stomach is not an issue. Stomach issue, or I don't know. I guess you're ready for it.
I'm good so far.
Good so far.
Sometimes a little cautious.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's easier to like brush my teeth with bottled water, just because one time I got really sick in Nicaragua, where it was just like, I don't ever want to get sick like that again.
Yeah, was it like that? Was it like a stomach kind of?
Oh, like I lost like 10
Was it?
kilos, and I couldn't leave the bed for like a week, and like
Want that to happen here, brother?
it could happen anywhere. One time in Thailand, I was eating. You know, they have the touristy things. You could eat snakes and bugs, and I tried it, and I paid the price.
The price, but memories. You know, I would say.
Yeah, memories
Why
of
not?
barfing in the toilet. I don't want that.
Not anymore, I guess.
Yeah.
Gotta pay a price if you're having a snake, you know?
Yeah.
They had a fucking
Also, it's not just snakes and the bugs. Like, I don't think it was a fresh snake.
It wasn't fresh.
It wasn't like
It wasn't fresh.
it wasn't organic.
It wasn't
wasn't,
organic.
yeah.
Farm snake.
Yeah, because there is one snake dish which is supposedly a delicacy or something.
No, I'm sure, and everything's good if it's cooked right.
Everything is.
But sometimes the things.
I don't know about snakes, and it's like a little bit of snakes, but yeah, in principle, everything is
anything could be
right.
good if it's cooked properly.
Yeah. But I don't know, like chaiye kebab.
Yeah.
Chaiye kebab are really good. But
What was the
karai,
chicken you cooked?
Like kadai fruit.
Yeah, I really like it.
karai is iconic. Yeah.
Going all the way.
Bye bye, guys. Great.